the years.
Well, that's what I'm wanting to clear up here. They're drugging you to keep you vertical, and then they 5150 you.
Correct. Yes, that is how it went.
And that experience has followed you till now, because 5150 is an involuntary commitment for someone that is a danger to themselves or someone else.
So people
they say,
continuously think that about me.
She's this, and
it's a stigma that really sticks.
They do. They put the crazy label on.
Correct.
And I hate the word crazy because it's derogatory.
And it doesn't really apply to anyone. It's just a stigma.
So now they hear a story about you, and they Google you or search you, and that's in there without the explanation that we're going through here.
Right.
Are you kidding? They said turn this way.
You became the paparazzi darling.
I think that I was just overwhelmed by the glamour of it.
Okay, Misha, look at me. This part, okay, look at me.
How did that shape you? What was the pressure like?
The pressure is immense. I certainly, hear certain noises and flashes, and I always consider it's probably a paparazzi. I have, a little bit of constant fear about that stuff, and you would think I'm cautious enough by now to not have these latest things happen to me, because I am pretty private and cautious, but I suppose nothing is ever perfect, and sometimes, I don't know.
Do you want to know why you're not seeing those things coming and not savvy about that?
Yes.
I'll tell you why. You had all that exposure, you've seen all that paparazzi, you think, I would be savvy enough to see that. You don't see it because you don't have the larcenous, evil concepts in your mind. You don't go where they go. And if you don't have those constructs in your mind, you don't see people doing that. And that's how we get victimized. If you don't have the ability to go to that dark place and look at it the other way back, it's hard to foresee it. Did you remove yourself from the spotlight?
I did. Yeah, I did for a while. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time back home in England, and I removed myself entirely from the spotlight here. I spent a couple years living in Paris, spent a lot of time in Europe. I needed to. It was absolutely necessary at that point.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about you?
My mind always goes directly, besides the fact that people think I'm crazy now, people really confused the character with the person, and maybe because of all the fame around that time.
Let's just back off, all right?
Ryan, it's okay.
No, it's not.
That was a really exciting time with paparazzi, and things were really crazy then, and maybe people really did start to meld with the parties and the flashiness, Marissa and me, and there's a little bit of that, but they love that character, so I've learned to kind of step off of that and back away, but that is one of the biggest misconceptions, that I'm a spoiled rich girl, or that I'm even from California when I'm a New York native and a London native. I think people found it convenient, or that's what they do in their minds. They attach you to one particular thing, and they maybe don't know, so I suppose that. And the fact people think I'm crazy, that's another good one.
Do you think at any time in your working career that you've had any kind of mental illness at all? Have you ever been depressed or had anxiety that impaired you or whatever?
I've been depressed, yeah. At the hands of what? See, that's why I find it interesting to hear your take on it, because, you will get depressed when everybody's talking about you and calling you names. Was it an underlying condition? Yeah, sure, it runs in my family a little bit, but I'm plagued with a little bit of depression for sure, or quite a bit of depression.
And what are you like when you're depressed? Do you withdraw? Do you hang in bed? Do you just pull out a little bit?
I just sort of hole up. I just get generally a little bit down. It's your typical symptoms of depression. I was auditioning a ton before all of this happened, and I kind of put that on hold. I want to set this aside. I really want to work with the police to get rid of this situation if I can. I don't know that that's entirely possible. It's taken all of my attention and all of my energy now away from my job. And again, it's been incredibly invasive and painful to have to stand up and talk about this. It just seems like the right thing to do. And I've had Lisa Bloom, my attorney, with me, and Lisa's been an incredible